crossing path. This is simultaneous conduct. An engineered light moves across the vehicle. Pay attention to the passenger side. That's demonic. Susanna Martinez is going to federal prison, and her teenage daughter is going to be prosecuted as a group stalker also. Lying in wait conduct, LAPD will cross path, and the entity will cross path in the environment that's surrounding. That simultaneity of conduct is occurring in the specific environment at the same property, and they're monitoring everything that I'm doing on the computer inside the office. This is, again, the violation of the federal HUD housing policies. They're doing so also while I am reminding you about what is the light source that's still at the same property at 5:22 in the afternoon. This is the same exact address, and you saw what was engineered light that moved across that vehicle as Susanna Martinez is her name, crosses path. I just want to remind you about where I am at. Again, it is the ongoing pattern of conduct is what you're witnessing right now. So this is the entity that's crossing path at 5:21 p.m. in concert with, that's a third-party group stalker. They live at the property. They're engaged in ongoing surveillance, and while at nightfall, for example, the entity is still doing the same thing, group stalking. They do the same thing, driving on and off the property. Silverview Townhomes engaged in the property. That's crossing path as they act in concert with LAPD. They're driving up and down Alvarado Street. They're coming out, walking to the dumpsters. They're coming out, emptying the garbage. That's what Universal Waste does. You're looking at the same exact pattern of what is the maintenance of the environment while they act in concert with the entity that's flying over an aircraft. Okay, so it's currently 5:23 p.m. So just going to show you about where I was at on this day at this time, which is nowhere near Los Angeles, and not even, this has nothing, this doesn't even have anything to do with what's the natural environment. This is just additional analysis showing you what is outright criminal conduct and of the demented nature that is group stalking. And it's 5:23 on this day in 2022. I remain at the Obit Family Community Library, and that's what I'm capturing while I'm sitting outside of the Obit Family Community Library. This is the side of it. This is the light source that's hovering. This is very precise placement of the light source that remains over me, and that's why I was documenting it, because I'm at this venue at 8 o'clock in the morning, which I've already shown you documenting the group stalking. That is the Ontario Police Department. I'm doing so by helicopters while I'm at this venue in the morning, and the light source is over me in the morning. This is what I'm showing you when I'm at this same library at 10:29 in the morning. This is where this entity engaged in what is kidnapping by the same entity that's stalking in helicopters. That's what I'm capturing at 10:29 at this same library on June 23rd. With law enforcement, with what is a court? This is that's the courthouse. It is relevant, but I'm specifically capturing the entity that's group stalking the Ontario Police Department at that same exact venue, which is the let's see, 06/18/2022, which is the Obit Family Community Library. So let me find that one second. Videos and downloads, so that you can recall what you've already seen. June 16th is the date, and I am anything. Here, you're the minion that came in there talking to me. I am here at 10. This is the same library where I'm at this time, and on June 22nd, June 5th, 2022. June 16th, days later, this same department that's stalking on a daily basis. And this is the light source that's over me at this same library, at the entrance where they're arriving, acting just like you see LAPD acting in concert with the entity in a specific environment where the light source, not the sun ever, it's clearly not the sun that would be over Walmart in Upland, while it's over me here at the property of literally the property. It's exclusive maintenance and of that light source. And then as I go to a different venue, then an outright departure from remaining all day long literally over the property, literally the property line. It does not go beyond it, and that's well documented. This criminal system, the same entity, is the Ontario Police Department. And as I scroll up and down, the people of the state are driving by. These are demons, very sensitive to every move I make and everything I'm doing on a communication device. At 10:29 in the morning, this is the same Obit Family Community Library where I am present on this day in June in 2022 at 5:01 p.m. And that's literally at the same front entrance. That's not the natural environment. This is also documentation of all the people of the state who are going to federal prison that live here. This is the same pattern of conduct where, again, Heather Till that's engaging in this criminal system. They're monitoring your documentation. They act with malice, and they also act, again, with abandon, stalking, flying directly over your head while you're documenting, and they know it. They also have engaged in kidnapping, which is why everybody, including speaker companies, are going to federal prison. It's an unlawful threat that the federal government will under no circumstances tolerate. And this is the kidnapping by this same entity. On June 16th, I was kidnapped by the Ontario Police Department. And the people of the state that are group stalking here, the same entity that manufactured information, made it up, which was everything that I documented. And while I'm having exchanges with these demons wearing police uniforms that are group stalking by virtue of that conversation in their presence, while the people of the state were crossing paths at that library where the sun would never be present from 10:29 in the morning till what is 5:01. By the way, the entity is maintaining this light source as I'm still capturing impossible light, just maintaining presence. Group stalking in commercial airline planes. All right, the planes follow where I go. So it's not just the fact that they're flying over. First of all, they're hovering. The sound of the planes does not arrive until they are visibly in my path. And wherever direction I walk in Ontario, California, that's where the planes would arrive, and the light source is always there. That's how you're recognizing group stalking by commercial airline planes. This is the light source that's still over me at 5:08 at that same library, where it's at the top at 10, that's group stalking by commercial airline planes. And the entity maintained this light source at the Ovid Family Community Library. 5:35 p.m. You just saw the group stalking by Susana Martinez while the entity is amplifying helicopter activity. Literally, the last video that I captured during the 4 o'clock hour, there's no sun that's over the Ovid Family Community Library at all, while it's still at the same property. In the same way, this is the same analysis. This is how you get your system, and you're recognizing it. And you have what is the light source that's over this same library, 215 East C Street in Ontario, California. I'm capturing it, same time of year analysis, 10:29 in the morning. And the entity is maintaining a light source at this same library, 215 East C Street, which is what I'm capturing on this day in 2022 at 5:35 in the evening, which is where the entity maintained a light source. This is what I documented. You're going to recall what the entity is doing here inside of my apartment, aiming a light source as though the sun would ever be present from beginning to the end of the day, or as though the sun could be possibly remaining here at the Ovid Family Community Library over the same entrance, by the way, that you see here at the top. At 10:29 in the morning, that same building, same location, 6:10 p.m. The entity is keeping a light source in alignment to my bedroom window while you're looking at demons such as Tai Lee and Hyun Lee going by Carol Lee. Their son is pacing around on a bicycle. He's crossing path, and he's doing so with impunity because that third party knows that he's being documented, as all of the people of the state do, and so does the state that's using helicopters to engage in the criminal elements of monitoring, which is indeed demonic activity. It is shown through what is the unnatural environment where that's occurring. So I just want to point that out. This is where the entity maintained a sunset on this day in 2022, and today where I'm nowhere near that, where the sun is not going to remain over one building, over a library for the duration of the day, which is what I'm capturing from 10:29 in the morning and what is after 7 p.m. in the evening. Okay, and then you're talking about what is the entity doing. This, let me be clear, this is not in alignment with my bedroom window in Los Angeles. No, it's not. And nor is every location everywhere where all of us are at the same time in the U.S. or even in California or even in Los Angeles. You do not have the same maintenance of the sun in perfect alignment with all of us at the same time for the duration of the day. That's not the natural environment. It is called stalking with light. Stalking with light is entirely demonic. All right. And this is the entity that's providing a wealth of evidence in that specific environment. And it is going for the prosecution, the federal imprisonment of a lot of people because it is the same exact system that's been underway that I've been documenting. And that's significant with what you just saw Susana Martinez engaging in, which is concerted conduct with that government and in a government system that is the grounds of federal prison. And it's going for the whole property. She's doing what the entire property is doing. She's doing what the people of the state are doing on an ongoing basis. And let me be clear, LAPD is a terrorist organization, and so is the Ontario Police Department. That is the reality of what is group stalking. And the people of the state arriving via Pizza Hut. License plate, pacing with the demon on the bike, 8BS Frank 996 P.O.C. And that's Pizza Hut group stalking. It is, again, 5:30 p.m. So let's just be reminded where the entity is not. It's not over the Ovid Family Community Library, nor is there anything normal about repeatedly flying around an apartment complex just on its face. Okay, and they're not just doing so ignorantly. What's also relevant to the enhancement of the federal charges and that federal prosecution and sentencing is the fact that the entity is aware of everything that's being documented on the venue of the internet, as they also seek to obstruct justice, stopping internet operation. All right, it is currently, again, 5:30 p.m. and this is P.O.C. That's criminal summoning in the specific environment. Those are the demons driving fire trucks, ambulances, and police vehicles. P.O.C.